There are several ways we can make children behave. One is by using force, another is by using fear, still another is by punishment. It's debatable, but these methods can make the child angry or resentful. Here to help us understand the best way to discipline children are Barney Luna Escaler, Working Moms Family Section Editor, and Nika Santos, Working Moms Column Writer. Good morning, ladies. Thank you very much for joining us here. I understand you were also part of the SNN and ANC family years ago when we were still starting.
Reminiscing.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you very much for
reminiscing.
that. We're talking about disciplining a child and being strict on children. How strict can you be, and what would be the gauge for you to say you are being strict enough, or you're lacking in being strict?
Discipline really isn't a one-size-fits-all. I heard Boyat ask what you think the most important factor would be. I would say it's knowing your child. There's some children you have to take aside and talk to and sit them down.
Right.
There are others where only a sharper, more forceful voice works. And it's just knowing what your child responds best to.
It's going to depend on the personality of your children, right? You have different children. It doesn't mean that they're all gonna have the same personality. But, as you said, one would need just a little talking would be enough. Isa konting lambing, isa kailangan ng konting pag.
But the underlying principle we always try to espouse, especially in Working Mom in the family section, is positive discipline. So, of course, you tailor suit your discipline methods to your child, but always on a positive slant. So we don't believe in hitting or corporal punishment or things like that.
Or things that don't allow them to process what it was they did wrong. Methods I think we were used to as children, facing the wall. How does a wall process that for you? Or kneeling down. At the end, you go away with, yes, I was punished, but there isn't any deeper understanding as to why it was wrong and how to make it better.
But how do you do that? Positive discipline. Is it just a matter of just talking to the kid and explaining to the kid what he did wrong and what could have been the repercussions?
Yeah, for instance, tantrums. So your child throws tantrums, and you have to know that it's developmentally appropriate for a 2-year-old to throw a tantrum. However, you have to emphasize to your children that you can feel angry, you can feel frustrated, but there is a proper way of expressing those feelings. You don't hit your brother or your sister. You don't say bad words or things like that.
A lot of them is giving them scripts for how to say things they feel, and also making very clear, realistic, non-negotiables. Hitting is not allowed. We don't hit, you say. We use our words. We don't use our hands. So it's really, you especially when they're 2-year-olds, they don't have the expressive language to do it, so you kind of have to script it for them a little bit. Give them emotional language and vocabulary
as early as possible. That's important.
You're feeling upset. I understand you feel upset. What you're feeling is anger. I know why you're angry. It's because, but you can tell me in the future, tell me if you're feeling angry or upset. And use your words. It's a constant mantra. We're always telling our kids, use your words, not your hands.
And so you have to give them the words.
Correct. And if they have that language, you might bypass the crying altogether, because now they know how to tell you, I'm tired, I'm hungry. And these are tantrum triggers.
So this one is better than, there are some parents who may just distract the kid. When a kid is having a tantrum, here's a toy, you go play with it.
Well,
or you go outside.
That's another way to deal with it, which is positive.
That's the easiest way, and I think as working moms, you do tend to do that out of love for your child. You just want them to stop.
That's one method. However, if you really want to turn like a tantrum into a teaching moment, you also have to explain to your child, okay, I know you're frustrated because you can't watch TV now and things like that, but you have to be firm at the same time. You have to tell them, this is what you're feeling. So, you know, so usually, but of course it takes years before your child can really imbibe that, but you've got to start somewhere.
You'll be like a broken record at some point.
You have to get used to that, no?
Yeah, you have to, especially when they're young children. Also, I feel, I mean, I know distraction it's an easy way out. And if you're a busy, harassed working mom, it's just the first thing that comes to mind.
But it's a good method also, yeah.
But at least for me, I feel, especially when you're at home, it's good to bring those tantrums to a surface also, because home is the best place to teach them how, or to teach yourself and your child taming
anger
methods.
management.
Yeah. It's worse when it's in a mall. So I'm less afraid of tantrums when it happens at
never
home.
give in to a child's wants just because the child threw a tantrum.
No,
So because people have this tendency to think that, oh, positive discipline is basically spoiling your child, when it's not. It's you actually have to stand your ground.
But it's actually difficult for a parent when you see a kid throwing a fit somewhere in a public place.
The easiest thing to do is give him the toy.
Yeah.
Just to quiet him or her.
But what are you doing for your child in the long run?
Yeah, at the end. But also, the parents have to be a little craftier also. There are tantrums. I really don't believe any child, especially at 2 years old, they're so innocent. I don't think anyone wants to throw a tantrum. I mean, I think the child's more distressed really than the parent is. It's harder to be the child in that moment than it is to be the parent. So be smart about avoiding triggers. Don't bring your child to a haircut when it's about his nap time is in a few minutes.
Right.
Don't bring your child to the doctor if this is a little before lunchtime and he's hungry, and you have to be a little smart about it also, and be sensitive. Is your child ill? That might be a cause of the tantrum. And if you can't see any reason, remove him already from the scene, and don't insist on staying out in a mall. Make him sit down in a restaurant.
Okay, for kids who are a little bit older, let's talk about maybe 5 onwards. The best scenario would be is to talk to the kid and have him express himself.
Yes.
You talk to him, you make him understand what he or she did wrong, and ask him why he did that thing that you didn't want him to do. But for some kids who are kind of withdrawn, how do you take that out? How do you make it? How do you have them release that?
I think what's important is from as early as possible you establish a trust relationship with your child. So you really have to lay the groundwork.
Start early.
As early as possible, you have to be the kind of parent that your child can talk to. Not the kind of parent who will just react and scream the moment the child does something wrong. So at the age of 5 onwards, middle school, you'll have a child that's more open to talk to you. So if at that point your child is the type that you say who kind of withdraws, then what you have to do is really just be patient and listen and offer your child constantly that opportunity to be listened to. And then eventually they'll get it. And parenting is like that. Sometimes you have to wait and be patient.
Yeah, it may not happen then and there during that conversation.
Do not
it could be
expect
hours or
instant
even
results.
days after that when that kid
Years,
would be able
sometimes.
to express. Years.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
But
scary.
you can't badger the child. Come on, tell me.
Right.
Then the more the child will.
Yeah, it's sort of a
Retreat.
dance also, especially when they're a big kid, when they're no longer toddlers and preschoolers. It gets a little trickier. Actually, at some point, not corporal punishment, but consequences come into play. And the consequences have to have some weight. A confiscated video game, or no, you don't get your choice for movie night.
Right.
Things like that. Something that's got to have weight also with your child, so they get it. But certainly, no, grounding without any explanation, without any processing, is a little bit of a wasted opportunity.
Okay,
You always want to make it a teachable moment.
Right. Can